Hey, welcome back everybody. I'm here today with Robert Galop and Nicolai Schaettgen of Creo Solutions and Matchmaker Ventures. And this is a really great session because Robert and I know each other because Robert is also a partner in the CPaaS Acceleration Alliance. So he wears a different hat today. He's the co-founder of Creo Solutions. And Nicolai and I go back, well, a little bit less, but also in spirit we do because we both have that history of connecting corporates and scale-ups. So we're going to talk about the speeds at which these two parts of the industry work and why it's important that we bring it together and how these two companies are helping that happen. So first, Robert, let me start with you. Can you give a quick introduction of Career Solutions and why you felt that you had to start that organization and what you're doing?
Yeah, I think the best analogy is at CPaaSAA, we're helping people understand what's possible, right? We're evangelizing, showing awesome use cases. But what we realized is once people get the religion, often they can't actually deliver on any of it. So we created Creo Solutions really to help people that are excited about this industry and want to do something, actually build those solutions out and take them to market. And we've seen a lot of success here over the last year from both providers, large and small, that are looking and seeing all of the awesome use cases we've got at CPaaSAA, helping them get those things to market.
Awesome. We'll talk a little bit more about the different use cases and we'll take one example later. Nikolai, same for you, a quick introduction and why are you passionate about this impossible task?
Pleasure to be here. Nicolai, CEO, founder, Matchmaker Ventures, started the journey of Matchmaker Ventures 10 years ago. Still following the same dream of making collaboration between innovation and scale-ups and large corporates easy and successful. Went into that journey because I was a very smart strategy consultant who did a lot of fantastic plans and PowerPoints and metrics and even higher business projections, which never hit the road, and that kind of was frustrating. And out of that one, I said, somehow we need to change how we approach innovation. And between those two animals, scale-ups and corporates, it really needs a translator. And after doing it for 10 years, I really say, yes, it really needs somebody who helps the two to get the best out of themselves.
Well, that's great. I like that that you also took your theory to practice. Right, which is the common theme here. So, why is it so hard? I mean, a very simple question. Why is it so hard? If you explain to people, either as a consultant or we're doing at the Alliance, why is it so hard for organizations then to get to work, to do something with that? Robert.
I can say, right? Robert.
I think you'd be a great start.
Look, I think looking at my experience, right, there's many on a high level. What it is, as a corporate, I always say that the comparison I make or the analogy is you are a 45-year-old single parent. You have 3 kids in school. You have a very good, well-paying job. You have your kids. You have your mortgage. You have football. You have all of the things you need to take care of. And then you get a job offered in Brazil, which gives you great opportunities, but zero pay. We basically cover the basics for you. And as a corporate, you would say, or as a single parent, it sounds great. And afterwards, the sky is the limit. Not for me. And as a scale up or startup, you're the 23, 24-year-old, whatever London Business School graduate who says, hey, I have this fantastic job in Brazil for you. You just get covered, your basic expenses, but you do this for 2 years afterwards, the sky is the limit because this job will open up every door. You'll probably jump on it, right? And I think that's the setting we need to understand. The same in a corporate and startup and a scale-up environment. As a corporate, you just have a lot of legacy, a lot of things to lose. So you be very, very careful. And as with a single parent, you have your parents, you have your sisters, your brother, everybody's influencing you. You have school, you have university, you have the bank. Everybody's kind of influencing your decision. In a corporate, you have 7, 8 different departments and hats, and everybody's influencing. So you take out the decision-making power. So it's a very different setting. I don't want to just hit on corporates, while I do later. But the starting point is very, very different from these two guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love the analogy there. That really really connects, right? You've got the eager beaver, young people coming in with, look at this cool technology. Let me tell you about all these cool things this technology does, but they don't actually speak the language of the corporation. They certainly don't understand all of the different moving parts within a corporation and why a deal may fall apart, why somebody may ignore you. So we're operating kind of in the same space there, where we've done this before. We've helped build up companies, and we've sold into, and we've run larger corporations, so we know what all those pain points are. And I think, Nicolai, you touched on it a bit there. Some of it is just understanding the mindset and being able to tell the right story and connect the right dots. And we see it time and time again. Rob, we talk about it all the time, right? Speeds and feeds and all the whiz bang features. Nobody really cares about that. It's about the story. It's about how you're solving problems. And we see a consistent theme here with these startups that need to tell that story differently, but we also need to figure out how to connect the dots on the corporate side to make it high impact for them so that they want to go after those particular solutions.
So I get that, right? So I get the difference between the two sides, and still we think that the nation has potential, right? Because the corporates do have the market and they have technology, they have money. They just need a little bit of mindset. So just that. And tell me a little bit. So Robert, how do you go in? Let's look at the network API space, right? To make it more concrete. So all these telcos last couple of years got on board with network APIs, opening the networks and now providing APIs to developers so developers can build cool applications. Now, of course, the problem is, let's say, the slow rate at which these APIs are really launched and commercialized, but that's natural. It's because they're telcos. But the other thing is, developers don't just start to build amazing large applications out of nothing, right? So there needs to be some nurturing or so. If you look at that space with the network APIs, Robert, so what do you guys do to build on top of this network API layer, and how do you work then with end customers that are actually using it?
Yeah. And we actually saw it in some of the stats we put together for the service provider playbook, right? And if you're going at it first from a developer perspective, you've got to reach a critical mass and API availability. You've got to have all these available enablement pieces in place. And then you've got to actually get the developers interested. And let me tell you, a developer, they've got 50 other projects to work on. And going to find and integrate a new API because it may save us 1% on our spend in one particular area, that's not going to make the priority list, right? So I've got to say, I'm surprised and dismayed at how many RFPs we still see around the network API side that are, let's create a developer marketplace. Like, okay, we can do that, and that'll pay back in 5 to 10 years from now. But if you really want to get revenue, you need to solve some actual enterprise challenges, right? So what we're focused on in this space is let's highlight and start building out a few things that enterprises can buy right off the shelves, right? Enterprises buy UCaaS today, they buy CCaaS today. And once those things are in, then they'll go back and figure out all of the cool things they can do by building additional applications on top of it. And I think that's a similar paradigm that we'll see here is let's get into the enterprise, let's show some value and make it easy for them to buy these things. And then they'll come back once the APIs are mature and we've got broad global coverage, then they'll start building stuff out. And we're starting to see a turn here. We're actually working with a few large providers that we're actually focusing on very specific use cases. We'll be demonstrating some of those at MWC. So we're starting to see that turn, but I'll be really happy at the end of this year when we stop seeing RFPs that are developer first, right?
So it has to be business outcome first. And
yeah,
you see that too, Nicolai, when you try to take scale-ups or startup scale-ups, help them scale and get traction with enterprise. Is there that same disconnect in what you do?
I think there's many, right? Let's say in the network API space, right? I think in this case, what is particular? I agree. There's still RFPs, so there's still questions coming in. There's still let's wait and see. I've actually really heard big RFP and then pulled back and let's we'll wait what's happening. I think at some point as an operator, you gotta make your feet wet. I think where we all agree on, and that's why we're also here and excited about, there's a market opportunity. Will it be 9 billion? Will it be 30 billion? Will it be in 28? Will it be in 2030? We don't know, right? Fact is we don't know, but we all are very convinced there really is something that really can solve a lot of customer needs. And I believe what corporates or telcos really need to understand is you will only know if you get your feet wet, right? So you got to jump into the water. So therefore, I think we don't yet know really, at least I don't know, what will be the prevailing and the first money-making approach. Will it be by the aggregators, and who of the aggregators? Will it be by the local market, the Brazilian market initiatives, and we go for whatever some fraud and identification solutions? Will it be directly to enterprise, right? I think each of them you need to sort of have like a triangular strategy, because you need to follow each of them if you're serious into that market. And for that one, I think what is really required, you need to have this flexibility to fastly try those things out, and then you need to prepare for scale, because only then this makes sense. But you need to create this lighthouse. So at the beginning, to say from the first customers, hey, but where's the ROI and how do we make money? That's a completely wrong mindset, right? And then, but let's do first an RFP for that one. No, right? Time is money. Just do it. The 30, the 50,000, basically what you can say, right? You buy yourself a lottery ticket that is for the first use case, for first, whatever, a port is, a railroad station, a manufacturing plant, whatever it is, 100,000 euros or 200,000 euros takes you the project, or whatever it is, right? But you buy that lottery ticket in order afterwards to have a front row, a high chance in order to win. So I think that's really the disconnect that I really see here, that, hey, but where do I need to see and understand the market, and how does this work? Yes, then wait 3 years and then the market is gone, and you might collect some crumbs, but then you have some crumbs, or you're probably not in the picture anymore.
You posted something this week about time, and how much time it takes when let's say startup scale-ups try to get things done, and how much longer it takes for corporates. And sort of what I took away from that is, every month that you spend on negotiating your NDA, or your terms and conditions, or the final pricing, or whatever, which can easily take a year, right, for a corporate, for a telco. Every month that you spend on, you're not in market, you're not selling, and you're not learning about the opportunity, fine-tuning, and creating success. So time is of the essence, and what you're saying is of the essence, right?
Exactly, because it hits you twice, right? It's really a double punch, because the first is, the longer you validate, the more you have your people sitting on just increasing costs for validation, right? And then if you have your lawyer team reviewing and negotiating the contract for 12 weeks, which is normal at a corporate, you have, for 12 weeks, people somehow being involved. It costs you actual effective cash out. So cut that one in the third, cut that one in the sixth, right? And then second is the cost of missed opportunity. Yes, you said it, right? The cost of, hey, I don't have learning. I'm not first to market. I'm second to market. I'm third to market. So really the opportunity cost, you really need to understand that really hurts a lot more than you say, I do this one, this lottery ticket cost me 200,000 euros. So be it, doesn't move the needle. But being second in the market, that hurts the needle, absolutely.
Yeah, I know, Robert, you're a big fan of lean startup and the whole agile mindset, and you were just venting a little bit about the RFP problem in the industry. But this whole agile and lean startup methodology is also about getting to market as soon as possible, and learning and growing, right?
Yeah. So we're really seeing two very different ends of the communications space. One is the large corporation mindset, where you've got to do a market study and you've got to do ROI, and maybe eventually you'll get something in the market, and those people won't, right? But we're also working with a lot of smaller service providers where they've got to make money, they've got to make moves, or they're not going to be putting money or food on the table for their families. And we're seeing a lot of innovation in that space, because they are willing to make those bets, like Nicolai is saying. And we've got several service providers where we said, let's take a flyer on a couple of things. And we've seen where we've actually put together things where we're leaning way forward over our skis, and we may get some snow in our face because we fell down, but we're going to shows with these guys. We're putting demos together and talking about new stuff. And we just went to one show with the service provider here in the US where we had a demo together. we were just looking to get feedback from potential customers on what that could look like. And what we saw was we walked out of that show with 5 orders from companies that have multiple locations. Now we've got to build the stuff, right? But now we've got proof points out there. And what we've actually seen is we've taken somebody that's probably making $1,000 or $2,000 a month per location. And we've added something on, and we've already heard from their customers that they're willing to pay another $1,000 to $2,000 a month for that product, right? So we've got a smaller CSP that's agile, willing to move fast and take some bets. And he's just found a path to doubling his revenue by taking that bet, right? So I think Nicolai, we're in the same same mindset here, where we want to make it, see what works, see what doesn't work, and be willing to take some risks.
Yeah, and I just have to kind of also to put apart, there are more and more telcos who also understand that, right? So the vast majority, I would still say, they are more sitting in the bandwagon and seeing what's happening. But there certainly are a couple of them who really say, I understand. It's a very different logic. It's really a scale game. It's not a typical telco game. We need to be together. We need to do this. We need to develop that market, because real scale and real impact only creates if I have the developed system at store, right? So I think there are a couple of them who really understand that one and are also living the talk and saying, hey, I need to be fast. I need to try out things. Our portfolio company, Shabodi, and I think you guys know them very well. They are focused on essentially helping operators, giving them the full flexibility by identifying, harmonizing, and then exposing the network capabilities. And it's a lot of flexibility which it brings. And we see a lot of interest and really traction of operators. Hey, this is actually what I need, because it's solved me the first one. How do I actually expose them here and there? How do I go into the enterprises? So there's some good stuff happening as well, but I think we need to propagate it more and get it into the people's mindset. Hey, it's a different game, and overall innovation or new stuff, it also comes with some risk, right? You unfortunately, there is no safe bet where you say, hey, this one I did. Otherwise we would all be sitting at the beach.
Yeah. No, I agree that there's definitely a mindset that's changing, and it takes a while. But if you look at the network API, 10 years ago, these things didn't exist. You would get killed for suggesting that sort of stuff inside a telco, and now it's normal. It takes time to roll out, but it's there. It's in their mindset. They're looking at how to get results. So what you guys are doing is so important now to show those results. We talked about MWC a little bit. That's a couple days from now in Barcelona. I know, Robert, I'm going to see you, and we're going to be in the Open Gateway Zone, and you'll be doing a bunch of demos there as well, from various things that you did with Creo, including Shabodi. Nicolai, you'll be as well, and I hope you also spend time at our place and not just roam around and do the usual 9-hole dash in half an hour, right? It's going to be exciting. What are you most looking forward, both of you? What are you most looking forward to seeing or hearing or doing in Barcelona next week? Nicolai, you go first.
I go first. I look forward to being in Barcelona. I think it's a great city. So that's one. It's just a good city with good food, good people. So that's certainly one.
You're just going to the beach.
No, unfortunately not. I actually have skipped the event the last 2 years, I'll be honest. I'm back now. So I've been, I think, before the last 15 years, and then I skipped for 2 years because I said, it's the quality discussions. And I also, at least I tried, which I haven't been fully successful, to have a little bit more time in between and to not come out, hey, I've done in 3 days, I've done 48 meetings and I run 120 kilometers. I don't expect that post from me on LinkedIn, right? So I think it's not about that one. It's actually trying to carve out some quality time with people. So that's why I definitely will stop by your place, and hopefully it's more than just a 5-minute discussion. How are you? How's the event for you? So I hope, I'm not sure how successful I'll be, but it's what I'm trying, at least, and what I'm looking for, some quality time and some evening events that are very nice.
Sounds good. And you, Robert?
Besides the patatas bravas and tapas, what I'm looking forward to is really seeing our members at CPaaSAA there. So network APIs have been a thing for 2 years now. People are starting to get their heads wrapped around it, and we're starting to really see some innovation from our members at the Alliance. So I'm looking forward to having conversations with them. I think Shabodi is a great example where we've got network APIs, but we're also starting to layer in AI. We're starting to layer in some other things that have come together at the right time to create some high impact enterprise solutions. So we'll be demonstrating some of those things at our kiosk in the innovation area, but also talking with members like Radisys, Infobip, and others that are starting to bring all of these pieces together and create those things that enterprises are actually going to come and buy and get value from, which is not just, hey, let's throw an API out there in the middle of some country that there's 5 million people, right? Nobody cares about that, but we're going to start seeing some really cool stuff from our members here this year.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there and to continue the conversation and also with a lot of other people and to really see, let's say, what the next step is going to be, right? Beyond making the network APIs available, the supply side is more or less covered. It's not done, but it's structured, and I think it's really about the demand side and building on top and accelerating and scaling that to a large extent. And that's what we're going to be doing at our demonstration pods with I think we have 8 of our members taking turns there with slots, so it'll be interesting. And yeah, I'm with you, Nicolai. Barcelona, great to go back there this time of year, training here. Look forward to being there, spending time, quality discussions, and seeing the both of you in person. Thanks a lot for joining me here, and see you.
Yes, thank you for having us.